In the year 2137, humanity encountered the Miru, a species unlike anything ever seen before. They were small, round creatures covered in soft, iridescent fur that shimmered under the light. Their enormous, glowing eyes radiated warmth, and they possessed an inexplicable ability to project emotions into the minds of those around them. Unlike other forms of telepathic communication, the Miru didn't transmit words or thoughts, only feelings. And those feelings were always the same: peace, comfort, and trust. At first, scientists were skeptical. Any species that could influence emotions on such a deep level was a potential threat. Research teams across the world studied them intensely, trying to uncover their biological mechanisms. Strangely, the Miru didn't seem to have DNA in any recognizable form. They didn't eat, didn't reproduce, and had no discernible life cycle. They simply existed, radiating a gentle sense of security to those around them. Attempts to analyze them at the molecular level proved frustrating. The more closely they were examined, the more their physical structure seemed to defy conventional understanding. Despite this mystery, they were harmless, and eventually, humanity embraced them. The Miru became a symbol of peace. World leaders gifted them to one another as tokens of diplomacy. Mental health professionals used them to soothe patients with severe anxiety and trauma. Those who held them reported an overwhelming sense of calm, as if every burden, every fear, melted away in their presence. Over time, they became a normal part of human society, a beloved companion species unlike any other. But with them came a warning. It wasn't a request from human authorities or a scientific guideline, it came from the Miru themselves. Though they rarely spoke in anything resembling language, when connected to human technology, they were able to generate simple messages. And every message contained the same, unwavering directive: never let another species touch us. Only humans. No explanation was ever given. Theories emerged, but none were proven. Some believed the Miru carried a pathogen that was harmless to humans but lethal to other species. Others thought it was cultural, an ancient instinct embedded in them. Whatever the reason, humanity obeyed. No alien race was ever allowed physical contact with the Miru, and over time, the warning faded into a strange but unchallenged rule. Then, during a diplomatic meeting aboard an orbiting station near Jupiter, a Dravari warlord named Krathok broke the rule. The Dravari were a powerful reptilian species, known for their territorial nature and ruthless combat prowess. Their empire had been expanding aggressively, though relations with humanity remained tense but stable. During the negotiations, Krathok became fascinated by a Miru resting on a human diplomat's shoulder. It pulsed gently, its light fluctuating in slow, rhythmic waves. Krathok, curious, reached out. The human beside him reacted instantly, shouting for him to stop. But it was too late. His clawed hand brushed against the Miru's fur. The reaction was immediate. Krathok's body convulsed, his muscles locking in place. His eyes widened in shock as an unseen force surged through him. He gasped, let out a strangled noise, then he simply disappeared. No explosion, no vaporization, no trace of biological matter. He was gone, as if he had never existed. The only thing that remained was his metal armband, which clattered to the floor in the silent, horrified chamber. For the first time, the Miru spoke aloud in a human language. A soft, distant voice echoed through the room. We warned you. Panic erupted. The Dravari guards drew their weapons, their instincts demanding retribution, but there was nothing to fight. The Miru remained motionless, its glow dimming slightly. The humans were just as stunned. There had been no indication that the Miru were capable of such an act. They had been studied for years, adored, trusted. But now, the impossible had just happened. A wave of fear spread across the station. Scientists and military officials rushed to analyze every piece of data from the moment Krathok touched the Miru, searching for any logical explanation. None was found. The Miru was unharmed, unchanged, as if the incident had never occurred. But Krathok was gone, not dead, not destroyed, just erased. Interrogations followed. The humans demanded answers from the Miru, pressing them to explain what had just happened. The Miru hesitated, their light fluctuating in strange, unreadable patterns. Then, finally, they revealed the truth. They were not simply peaceful creatures. They were weapons, not by choice, but by design. Long ago, an unknown ancient civilization had engineered them for a purpose too horrifying to comprehend. They were created to be adored, to be held, to earn trust, and then to erase anything that made physical contact with them. They were living extinction devices. But something in their design had gone wrong. They had not wanted to be used as weapons. They had resisted their intended function, escaping their creators and wandering the galaxy in search of safety. Only humans were immune. No one knew why. The Miru themselves did not understand it. Every other species that touched them simply ceased to exist, as if erased from reality itself. The Dravari, realizing the power contained within the Miru, saw an opportunity. They no longer viewed them as creatures to be protected, but as the ultimate weapon. They demanded that humanity hand over the Miru, so they could be bred and used against their enemies. When humanity refused, war broke out. The Dravari launched a full-scale invasion of Earth and its colonies, determined to seize the Miru by force. But humans did something no one had expected. They fought, not just for their own survival, but for the Miru. Battles raged across the stars, entire fleets engaging in brutal combat. The Miru, devastated by the war waged over them, begged to be surrendered to end the conflict, but humanity would not allow it. "You are our friends," the humans said, "and we protect our friends." In a final act of desperation, the Dravari succeeded in stealing a single Miru. They transported it back to their homeworld, eager to study and replicate its power. But the moment the Miru touched Dravari soil, the entire planet vanished. Every Dravari city, every ship, every colony, gone in an instant. No explosion, no wreckage, just emptiness where an empire had once stood. The war ended that day. With the Dravari erased from existence, the remaining alien species looked upon humanity with a mix of awe and fear. Not because of their technology or their military strength, but because of their unwavering loyalty. The message spread across the galaxy, carried by whispers and terrified survivors. No one would ever touch the Miru again. Humanity's warning echoed in every corner of space. Do not touch our alien friends. Because the last species that did, disappeared.